Welcome to SkyWorld. This is my exhibition. These are the artworks that I produced to communicate my research to the people of Katoomba and the broader community. For us, in our Dreamtime stories, there's often a reference to the sky world, and the sky world is where the Dreamtime creation beings, after they've travelled the tracks on Earth, turned into the stone formation or the mountain, go up into the sky. The Dreamtime creation beings will actually go through the Milky Way, and that's where they'll be gathering the water lilies or the rhizomes for different reasons. Might be for medicinal purposes or for food. My great-grandmother used to tell my mother and her sisters Dreamtime stories when they would be out the back looking at the stars. And in summertime, they'd take their sleeping bags and sleep on the veranda. And when they look at the stars, she would tell the stories. As we say in time immemorial that these stories have been told from one generation to the next. They're the dreaming stories.
My name's Kirsten. I'll be your personal Aboriginal astronomer for this morning. So a lot of our stories involve the stars, and the stars are our canvas. So I want to talk about different perspectives of the night sky. So when we look at the night sky with the perspective of a Western astronomer, we see these things. These are the constellations. I'm hoping they can learn that there's a different perspective of the night sky. There's not just these weird dot-to-dot pictures that we see, or not just these pretty sparkly lights in the sky. There's a different perspective that has been used for tens of thousands of years. So if we go back to Gamilaroi, they see the Milky Way as Warrumbul, which is a waterway or a stream. If we move down to northwestern Victoria, Burrung people of the Wagai language group, they see the Milky Way as Waring, which is the smoke from the campfires of the old spirits. And then to my favourite, from my country, we have Gugurman. You can easily see the emu now, can't you? There is so much to learn in my discipline. There's never a quiet day in the Cosmos office. So there's always more to learn, which is why I love this field so much.
We're making paper water lilies out of crepe paper. And the idea is that when you ever make an artwork, you're drawing or you're sculpting, you always look at a reference and you look at the actual water lily itself and you try and replicate that. We've had students use larger petal sizes and more petals, so they made a giant water lily, which I love because this is what these are. These are SkyWorld water lilies. They're giant water lilies. They're not what you're used to, and that's when you take an artwork and you push it further. Everyone's artwork is unique to them, and that's what I like about art, is that it's your work and you do what you want to do.
I think the importance of NAIDOC, especially to me, is to get the information about Indigenous culture out there so people can appreciate it and we can get that mutual respect of each other as Australians, non-Indigenous and Indigenous alike.
I think it's fundamental for kids to see art out of a textbook and to see it in real life, and to listen to an artist actually talk and be in the space with them is so important to kids understanding the whole artistic process.
He talked about smoke and mirrors and how he, in his exhibition, was trying to show things, but also was trying to hide things as well. And this also linked in very well with his idea of spirituality and the Aboriginal Dreamtime.
I learned a lot about how Aboriginal astronomy links to the land, because I've always known that there's been that strong tie to land in Aboriginal culture and beliefs, and to me it sort of just taught me more about it. Being able to talk to the artist was really good because, you know, you can see the art, but you never really get to talk to the person and know what they're like and know where the inspiration comes from.
It's made me think more of place and that strong connection to the land which Aboriginal artists and Aboriginal people have. It's part of them. It's not just this isolated scenery. And his use of smoke in some of those works. I think in the early colonial paintings, the Aboriginal presence was that smoke in the distance. They're there, but they're not actually seen. It has been such a great integral part of our art education to be able to witness this exhibition, which is working beautifully with our program on nature and art.
Interest. I want them to get used to the idea that they can go and choose a career that might not necessarily be obvious, that they can find different direction at different points in their life. I came into this as a mature age student, which was a very big leap from where I started in my working life.
We've just looked at like the little bit of a scientific perspective on the universe plus an Indigenous perspective, and then stepped into the exhibition space and meeting the artists straight away. So that's really unique.
I didn't know as much about the Aboriginal astronomy and how that linked into not only Aboriginal culture but also other cultures around the world, which is really cool.
I've been involved in many sorts of things like this before, and usually the outcome's very similar, that everyone really enjoys it, which is absolutely fantastic and really uplifting to me.